Chapter 1128. The title of chapter is RPG. Chapter starts in Bigstein Castle. Sanji carries Nami and jumps down from the castle with Luffy, Zoro and Usopp. They arrive to the land below and we can see that the entire kingdom is made of Lego pieces with huge Yggdrasil tree in the middle. Then Zoro explains that he woke up at the other side of town and then he followed the noise to find Luffy defeating Giant Rabbit. Luffy says Usopp that he should be able to defeat that lion on his own. Usopp replies he was in a panic since he woke up while being eaten by the cat. Usopp says this kingdom is not Elbaf since their giant warrior outfits are normal size. So Straw Hat Crew decides to go to the giant town to ask people what is happening. On the way to the town, they encounter a normal-sized bearded guy, wearing giant outfits, riding a giant grasshopper. Bearded guy asks them, "Are you guys are new here?" and tell them that this is the land of gods. Bearded guy explains that this is a country ruled by gods, the ear god, rabbit, the spike god, hedgehog, and Iskat, 17, the cat that rules the castle. Bearded guy tells them that, recently, there's also the incident of ear god, that being burned to death outside of town. Luffy says, "My bad." But Usopp covers Luffy's mouth before Luffy talks too much, while Zoro, Nami and Sanji are whistling and looking the other way to hide that they killed the rabbit. Bearded guy asks them if they are hungry. They can just come by their town to get some rations, but they can't go to the other side of the castle. Luffy is confused. Bearded guy tells them, the Sun God's temple is there and it's guarded by ferocious guardians. No one has ever approached the temple and returned to tell the tale. When Luffy hears Bearded guy words, his face changes to a very funny facial expression and runs right to the Sun God's temple. Zoro got interested when he hears there are guardian beasts and run after Luffy. Sanji scolds Zoro for always going with Luffy's flow. As Luffy is running, he wonders why the road seems so long and the entire kingdom looks so wide, but suddenly he hits something invisible and breaks it. It is revealed to be a giant mirror. The sky and wide scenery they see are all mirror reflection. The people in Lego Town are shocked to see the sky cracks above them. Luffy crosses that mirror and falls to the floor. After the mirror is broken, it's revealed that the entire Lego kingdom is a diorama placed in a giant's room. The diorama is inside a huge cage covered with glass. From inside the glasses are mirrors, but from outside look like a fish tank. The cage takes up a large part of the room, and the front part of the cage has a huge grill, with a door, with the size for a giant. In the room, there are some furniture too, like a giant wood table. And on top of the table, there are fabrics, threads and a giant sewing machine. We can see a lot of Lego pieces dispersed in the floor of the room, where Luffy fell. Straw Hat Crew is in shock. Nami asks, "What is going on?" And Sanji was saying that, if there are giants living on this side, it would be as if we are some pets being given an elaborated cage. Nami could not believe what was happening. Then we hear Sumiant's voice saying, "What was that noise? Are you on my side? Help me." That mysterious voice is Chopper, that is captive outside the cage, in the giant wood table. Zoro releases him and Chopper, crying, hugs Nami. Chopper tells everyone that he is so glad that they found him. Nami comforts Chopper saying, "It's alright now." Chopper tells them that his collar was so hard he couldn't get it off. He really thought this is the end for me. Nami tells Chopper that now he owe her one. Usopp says to Nami that you were crying yourself not so long ago. Then Usopp and Zoro examine all the stuff in the table. Luffy does the same in the floor. Zoro thinks that it is a room built for giants but with human-sized clothing. Usopp wonders that is Sun God really a delicate person. Luffy on the other hand see the room, and the room is full of blocks. Sanji was thinking the same thing, and says, the reason the smell was unbearable when we roasted the rabbit was due to all the synthetic resin burning with it. Straw Hat Crew look around, and Sanji assumes that giant room is the Sun God's temple. Zoro says people in costume that live in Diorama Town are like pet for Sun God, to observe them via glass. Suddenly two new giant animal appear in the giant room, Hilmengander, a giant snake. Its name is based on the world serpent, Jarmungandr, in Norse mythology, and Mugen, a giant raven with a skull on its head. Luffy and the other fight against them, wrecking stuff of the room and making room catch fire. Cut to the outside the room. We see that Sun God is walking down a corridor towards the room. Sun God is a giant far larger than any normal giant we saw so far, except Oars, but we can't see yet if Sun God is a man or a woman. Sun God is a slim giant that wears a black long tunic and a deer skull that covers his face, and Sun God has a staff and a shield with sun symbol. Sun God notices that smoke and noise are coming from the room. So, Sun God enters the room and is shocked to see Luffy destroying it while they are fighting the animals. Luffy is using Gear 5 and laughing in the middle of fire that is burning the room. Then he uses Gomu Gomu no Dawn pistol to defeat the giant snake. On the other hand, Zoro defeats Giant Crow. Then Straw Hat Crew enters into the diorama to evade Sun God, and they encounter again Iscat, giant cat they defeated in the castle. Iscat is very angry, but they hit Iscat's head and get on it, while Nami shows them a map she found. Chopper tell them the cat said, "I will remember this." Then Nami start explaining the escape plan, and says we didn't get what we were looking for, but we did find the blueprint of this land of blocks. Then Zoro tells the crew that someone is coming their way. At the end we see Straw Hat Crew riding Iscat through the diorama town, with Sun God chasing them. Town people are in shock when they see enraged Sun God.